You've read all the books, you've watched all the videos, you've done all the tactics, you've promised yourself, okay, I won't relapse today. I won't relapse today. I won't watch porn. I won't fap. I won't do any of that stuff. In fact, I'm never doing it again. And you keep to your promise. You rely on your willpower. You get from day 0 to about 2 weeks. Fair enough. But you can only hold out for so long. You see something, you come across something, and you just can't control the urge. And before you know it, your next 6 videos of Pornhub, scrolling for your favorite video, you relapse, and your cycle of guilt, shame, self-hatred just continues, and you fall back into a harder depression than the last one. I've been there. I used to rely on my willpower. I used to trust myself. I used to feel that I could do it. I could overcome the addiction. If I just struggle hard, if I just say no hard enough, if I say no enough times, I'll get there. But eventually, I would always fall. I would always come across something like I didn't want to see, and I would just give in. And before I know it, I could be at a 3-week streak or a 2-week streak, and I'm back as a day 0. Today, I'll be teaching you how to use willpower properly. My name is Joel CV, and I'm a former porn addict and masturbation addict. The goal of this channel is to help men go from that to purposeful and ambitious young men through the grace of God, not by my own power, not by my own strength, but through the grace of God. So, like the videos, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and stay tuned. So basically, we've all been there. We've all tried to white knuckle this addiction, to try harder, to resist the urge harder, to go harder, to just stop. We've all tried to just stop. I was a big believer in willpower. I used to be like, okay, I can do this if I just put enough efforts, if I just try harder, if I just keep going. But I always feel at the end, I would always relapse. I could start on, let's say, day 0. Day 1, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm going. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 7, I'm there. Day 14, I'm there. And I'll be struggling. It will be so hard. It will be so hard. So hard. I could barely even, my penis was always rock hard, because I was taking so many hits from so many urges. All the thoughts were coming, all the fantasies. I would just say no, I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it again. But I could only hold out for so long. I would see something I didn't want to see. I would just say, okay, let me just take a little peek. Before I know it, I'm down the rabbit hole, looking up my favorite porn, watching for 4 hours, relapsing multiple times, 3-4 times. And at the 5th time, I'll just be like, I can't. Because I literally even can't. I don't have any more corn in me. I just literally can't. And I'll be there feeling the whole cycle of disgust, shame, and everything. And I'll be depressed. I'll think how I thought I could do this, but I keep failing. I keep failing every single time. And I just wondered why. So let me tell you something about willpower I've learned. Well, I read a book a while ago. I've forgotten the name of the book, about a year ago, and I read something that actually stuck with me. So what he said was, he was talking about willpower, and he said something that willpower is not always on will call. Let me say it again. Willpower is not always on will call. What does that mean? He was basically trying to say that willpower is not always there when you need it. And that's the truth. That is the truth. If you've been down by this addiction, you definitely know that sometimes you don't want to do it, but you just don't have the will. You just don't have the will. Let me set an example. I believe everybody's been there. Sometimes you have this task you want to do, you have that place you want to go, you have that person you promise something you wanted to do, and in the moment you're hype, you'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do that thing later. And when the time comes, you want to do it, but you just can't. You see it out. Before you start procrastinating and say, man, I can't. I just can't. We've all been there. Maybe different situations for all of us, but we've all been in that situation. You thought you could do it, but you just can't. You were high before, but now you just can't. We've all been there. And let me get on the streets. Willpower is actually a very powerful tool. You know that when you have willpower, you can sometimes just be like, even if you're watching let's say even if you're watching the most erotic, or you're looking at the most erotic, or the most sexually and most enticing, most endowed OnlyFans model, the most endowed porn star, you just be like, not today. And just by no, and you just get behind me. We've all been there. We've all had those moments. I've had those moments. You've had those moments. We've all been there. You just, not today. But sometimes you wonder where that spirit of not today just goes. Sometimes you just can't say no. You just can't say no. No matter how, you just can't. It may even be the most, it may not even be as stimulating as the normal stuff that will get you hard, but you just look at it and you're like, I need to fap, I need to watch porn now, I need to fap. And you just go down the whole cycle all over again. So willpower is not always on will call. It's not always there for you to just take and say, hey, I'm going to say no now. Yes, nothing you can do about it. It's not always there. It's a powerful tool, yes, but it's not always there. So today I'm going to be telling you what you can do, how you can actually use your willpower. So the first thing I always say, as I've always said in all my videos, is God. It sounds cliche. I do not care. I do not care what you think. The only way to overcome this addiction is to acknowledge that you can't do this yourself. You've been trying. Come on, you've been trying. How long? 10 years, 9 years, 5 years. You've been trying, but you're still stuck. Why? Are you surprised? You can only do so much. I can do it. Where are you now? You're here watching this video. If you could do it, why would you be watching this video? If you could do it, why would you be watching this video? You can't. You need help. You need to acknowledge that you can't do this by yourself. You need help from somebody, from something. I was at that point. I was down bad. I kept failing and falling and failing and falling and failing and falling year after year after year. I just grew tired. I couldn't. You have to come to that point. And most people don't come to that point. That's why they think like they can actually do it. But they end up going depressed when they fail. They get happy when they fail, depressed when they fail, happy when they win, depressed when they win, and they go happy, depressed, happy, depressed, happy, depressed, happy. Doesn't make sense. Only when you accept that you can't do it and you ask for his help, because there's no other person. I can give you all the advice you need, but one way or the other, they may go for a 3 years stay, going 3 years stay, but you may fall back. You will fall back. You need the help from God. That's really person. That's really person. I know. He helped me. He can help you. You need to know God. Have a relationship with Him. Ask Him for help. Study His word. Get to know Him better. Free your brain to His word. Then from there, you can then build on the other things, like all the other taxes and stuff like that. But it first starts with Him. You can't do it on your own, brother. You can't. The second step is avoid using it carelessly. Your willpower. Imagine this. Imagine if you started your day with X amount of willpower. Let's say every morning you wake up, you have, let's say, I don't know the unit I'll use to measure this, but let's say you have 1,000 ounces of willpower. Let's say ounces, 1,000 ounces of willpower. They have 1,000. You go up in the morning. You set a certain task. You do it. Be like, I'm gonna do it. You do it. 200 gone. You come across all the OnlyFans models, sexually triggering things that are really hard to look away from. You look at them, you watch them, you might look at them and say, no, I won't fap. When the 500 gone, you have 300 left. You still come across small content. You watch all these music videos, all these movie scenes, all the music, listen to all of them, and you say, no, I'm not fapping. The remaining 300 gone. Now you're left with zero willpower. And it's just the middle of the day. What do you think will happen when all the sexual things keep coming? You have no choice but to relax because you don't have any willpower to fight. You can't. You're just defenseless. Willpower is just like a shield. It's a very strong shield, but it doesn't last long. It's not always there on will. It's not always there for you to just say, okay, come. No. It's not always there. You can't always turn back. And it's time to charge. So stop consuming. Imagine this. Imagine if he, instead of waking up and watching all the sexual content and all stuff, imagine if you just did something else. Preserve the willpower. Instead of going, watching all the content, educate yourself, read your Bible, talk to God, pray, do something productive. Work on that business that you're procrastinating about. Start that YouTube channel. Read your books. Focus on your talents. Work on them. You like coding, code. You like graphic design, and do graphic design. Go outside. Stop putting yourself in positions that will take your willpower from you. That's number 2. Then the third thing, use it in the right situations. So there are times when, okay, you do all those things, you do all the mechanisms, but still, you still find yourself in those situations that you can't run, you can't hide. Then use your willpower. After you've maneuvered, then use your willpower and see what happens. You say, no, not today. Not today. And it passes by. And the next day you wake up with a refreshed heart of willpower. And you do the same thing again. You block out all the other contents and you preserve the willpower for that time. You don't know when it may come. You don't know who, how, when, where. You don't know. But you keep it just in case. And when it does come, you're prepared. You have your shield. You can fight it off. If you want to see more of my content, want to see more of my videos, like, subscribe, do all these 2 stuff, comment, share the video. It's a win-win for both of us. And I'm also building something that can help men go from porn addicts to purposeful and ambitious men through God's grace, not mine. And doing some research. Now, I'd like to know about the experiences of guys just like you, how the addictions affect your life, your mental health, your self-image, your relationships with your family, girlfriends, spouse, fiancés, who knows, how it's affected you in general, your life, and how it's tumbled your life from all these years, how it's messed up your brain, how it's destroyed your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-image, and everything like that. I'd like to know. You can reach out to me on X, formerly known as Twitter. We can have a deep conversation, very intimate, very deep, very vulnerable, completely free, no charges, no nothing, just 2 young guys or 2 guys in general talking about their porn addiction and how they can overcome it through God's grace, not anybody else's. So, sounds like you. Links in the description. Hit me up. Message me on X. Respond as soon as I can. And thanks for watching the video. So, remember, trust in God, not yourself. Cut out the bad habits, do the good habits, and be consistent. Peace.